Hi, good day, and welcome everybody. Jabari here, and today we're going to talk about DNS. Now, DNS stands for Domain Name Services. What it does is it takes the URL of a user that a user enters, and searches for the corresponding IP address and returns the user's page. Now, a lot of people are of the opinion that once you type in the name of a browser, that's it. That's not how it works. What happens is every website has a specific IP address. So it's very difficult for users to remember the IP addresses, of course. So what DNS basically does is it converts the names to IP addresses. And upon finding the corresponding name to the IP address, it returns the IP address to the computer. So the computer then in turn know where it has to go or what the user would like to go to or view. So without further ado, let's get started on setting this up. So you're going to need your server open, of course. And what you're going to do is we're going to go to Start, and we're going to go to Administrative Tools and then select DNS. So we're going to see something called Forward Lookup Zone and Reverse Lookup Zone. Of course, if you don't see these drop-down menus, you just select your server, and of course you'll get the menus. You're going to see Forward Lookup Zones and Reverse Lookup Zones. I'm going to explain this a little bit. A Forward Lookup Zone is basically sending the name to be searched for. So the Forward Lookup Zone searches for name to IP address. All right. So we're going to set up a Forward Lookup Zone. So we're going to right click on Forward Lookup Zones and select New. And we all aren't strangers to installing software. So we select Next, and you ensure that it is the primary zone. You also select Next here again. And what we're going to do is to all DNS servers in this forest. And you're going to select Next. And of course, we're going to give it a zone name. So we're going to name it Radio. Just for the sake of the tutorial, you could name it whatever you'd like. Radio.com, and you select Next. And you make sure to allow only secure dynamic updates. You select Next and Finish. And it's as easy as that. We see radio.com, the Forward Lookup Zone has been set up. So what we're going to want to do now is set up a Reverse Lookup Zone. Reverse lookup zones obviously do the exact opposite to a forward lookup zone, where the forward lookup zone would send the name to be converted to an IP address. The reverse lookup zone takes your IP address and converts it to a name. So we're going to create a reverse lookup zone. So you're going to select New Zone, and same procedure as before. Select Next, Next again, and of course to all DNS servers in this forest. Next, and you're going to make sure is IPv4. We're not going to have any IPv6 for the sake of this tutorial. Select Next, and the network ID, we're going to type the address, which is 192.168.10, and we're going to leave that blank, and you see it's automatically making the reverse lookup zone. You select Next and allow the dynamic, and we're finished, and we see we've created a reverse lookup zone. So what we're going to want to do now is create a new host. So we're going to go to Radio, you're going to right click here, and you're going to select New Host. And what we're going to do is to radio.com, we're simply going to add www, and we're going to have the IP 192.168.10.1, and we're going to create an associated pointer. You're going to select Add Host, and the record has been successfully created. OK, done. You're going to go to the reverse lookup zone. When you open it, you're going to see the pointer there. So what we're going to want to do now is we're going to want to run NS lookup. So you go to your server, you right click, and you select Launch NS lookup. So we're going to search for the zone that we created. So we're going to look for 192.168.10.1, and we see it searches the server and finds that that is what we were looking for. And if we were to type www.radio.com, we're going to see that it searches the server and finds it and resolves it. So just to ensure that everything is everything with this, we're going to add another host, and we're going to name this host test, and the IP address 192.168.10.15. .15, sorry about that. And we're going to add the host. So when we're done here, we're going to go back into NSLOOKUP, and we're going to type 192.168.10.15, and there we see it, the name searching for the IP address. Now let's just search for the name test, and we see it finds everything that it has to find. Thanks again for watching. This has been my video on DNS. Stay tuned, we're going to have a lot more content coming your way still.